has a better idea.
By 1969, it seemed every American auto manufacturer was in the chase. They all wanted the pony class. But Ford wasn't ready to surrender. The competition was creative and fierce. The Z28, the Hemi, Ford counterpunched with Cobra Jet, and the Boss had taken over. And Mustang's body design was about to get bigger. To this day, the '69 Mach 1 is one of the most cherished Mustangs ever to roll off the line. Consumers were lured with a wide variety of power, from the small block 302 to a booming 428 Cobra Jet. The famous Shaker hood scoop had eyes riveted when it roared, joining power with aesthetic. The battle for muscle superiority was impending. When 1970 arrived, Dearborn designers were loaded and ready.
Putting power to the ground is a challenge for every builder. Yes, there are formulas and equations, but experience is often the best calculated move.
We were asked by Matt at AutoWorks International to build him a differential for a car that they're building in their shop. We started out by building the pinion support.
Precision is vital to getting the most from a pumpkin. The wrong ratio means tossing horsepower.
And then we took the ring gear and pressed it onto the carrier. And then we installed the ring gear bolts, which hold the ring gear onto the carrier. And we torqued those down to spec. Next was to install that into the third member case, and then you put the carrier into it and set the backlash on it. Basically took the pinion support back out, put a new O-ring on it that keeps the oil seal from the pinion support to the carrier tight so you don't leak oil.
The power coming into this third member won't be punishing, but it'll be more than intended back in '67.
Next, we torque down the carrier bolts that hold on the main caps to the third member case. Torque those down to spec. At this point, the third member was done. After that, we moved on to assembling the axles. And then moved over to the press to press on the axle bearings and the retaining plates. Matt had asked us to use a custom perch on there that matches their special suspension assembly. We didn't consider the clearance for the T-bolts into that retain the axles into the housing, so we had to clearance the perches for that. And then we moved on to installing the brake backing plates onto the housing, and then we installed the axles, inserting them and bolting them in.
So is an 8-inch the best choice for this car?
If you're running it on slicks, it's probably a good time to go step up to a 9-inch rear end. If you're running on street tires or autocrossing, sticky road race tires, an 8-inch should be just fine with a 31 spline upgrade to handle those tire applications.
Yes, we know, most muscle maniacs would insist on a 9-inch diff. Even bow-tie builders opt for Ford's signature rear end without much thought into the decision. But the 8-inch is a lighter component, and given the choice of a 302 small block, the power-to-weight ratio might just be a superb choice.
Today we tried a new idea. Instead of using U-bolts to hold the rear end in, we decided to machine a plate, get it welded to the rear end, and just bolt the rear end that way. So the install was a little unknown until we put it in.
Dealing with the unknown can be half the fun.
The torque arm is part of the RS suspension. What it does is it bolts up to the rear housing, bolts up on the front pinion shaft, and it connects up to their cross-member bracket. It's got 2 points on it that are completely adjustable, so if you need to raise it or lower it for clearances and for your suspension to handle, that's what it's there for. After that, we finished raising it up and connected the shocks so it could hang in the air and be suspended. From there, we connected up the torque arms to the back of the rear end and to the trailing arms.
This is fast becoming not your average '67 Mustang.
On the front, we went up and installed the strut rod pockets. Then at that point, we went ahead and installed the strut rods into the pockets.
Finding if the fit of basic components works or not is an ongoing process. Everything short of a startup will be installed, then blown completely apart.
And then when it comes to the final install, after everything's detailed, we use all the correct hardware, Loctite and all that sort of stuff for the final install.
The one thing I can think I look forward to more than anything is the day that Matt hands me the keys and says, "Here's your car."
That day isn't far off.